Alrighty, what's up? Welcome to our Sonotube series. In this video, we are going to go through our pour. You can actually see our pour. We're doing it right now. This is at the job that we're currently doing in the series. But either way, all I got is this time-lapse video, and I decided that I better go in through the steps of what we take. I do these videos for my kids and for whenever they have their kids, if they ever want to be a builder like Papa Rob and I, that they can see what we do to build our houses. So either way, we're going to show you the other job now. It's kind of like the job that we're doing, kind of more like the back porch of the job that we're doing. It's got a sonotube at each corner. But either way, same deal. We're going to be pouring a pad on top of this, and we're going to fill in those sonotube spots full of concrete. So here we go. So the mud truck's going to hurry and fill in near the house first. At this job, we end up making this pad all the way flat across, so the same height as our concrete walls for our house. Papa Rob first takes and mags against the house, and then we are going to kind of flatten it as much as we can around, kind of squish that in. You're going to notice that the concrete truck this day putting way too much concrete. Usually they'll fill in about a foot away from the edge, and then we will end up magging this in and filling it in, and then taking from the mud truck and filling in the rest of it. Right here we're using our screed board. Well, we usually get a screed board. This is our Magnesium Screed. I believe we're using our 12-footer. It works awesome. You know, usually we do a 2x4. We've got this today. I love it. I think it's great.
That's all you can do about there.
We're going to hurry and screed through this one more time. We just ended up going to the back part of the job so that we could get this pour. We had two pours this day. Filling my holes right here, filling his side, and we're going to pull this screed through. You're going to notice that we have our screed board on an angle so that it's pushing that concrete in place. If we angled it the other way, it would be pulling holes out. But we angle it to push it down so we can have a nice flat top. And we're going to end up just pushing that concrete right over the edge. Our hand right there is going to help clean that off the edge. Okay, so that's my dad. He's got the bull float. I'm going to start hurrying, magging up the sides, but he wants the bull float across the front here. Bull float works awesome. You do it the very second, the moment that the concrete truck is done and leaves, you start bull floating it. You can see that I'm filling in any little holes that he might have. Usually it will have holes all the way around the edges, which I'm also filling in as well. All right, so there I am with my mag. What I'm gonna end up doing is filling in the edges all the way around this thing. If there's gonna be a low spot, you're probably gonna have them on the edges. Hey, also, another quick thing to add is as you are filling in these edges, you want to make sure that you don't overdo it. You don't want to have a lip on the edge. If anything, you do want your edge a tad low if you have the choice. So you got to decide if you're going to have that a tad low. Definitely never have it a tad high. If you don't think that you're going to be able to do that, just make sure that it's a tad low. So make sure that the water can run off whenever water comes here, or snow as it melts, so that you don't ever end up with an icy or a slippery spot there, or a puddle. All right, so there's my dad. He's coming back around the corner from bull floating the back. He's gonna come and he's gonna bull float this one more time. Get a nice smooth top. Right now everything's completely wet, and we're just trying to get things smoothed up for later when the concrete's ready for us to use our steel. We will end up coming and doing our edges here in just a minute, so you'll see that. Other thing is up against the house, I am going to end up making it so that concrete from the concrete to the foundation wall there up next to the house, I'm going to work that over pretty good and make sure that I get that all magged up next to the house good enough so that when I put an edger on it, that I can have all that cream be right there against the house. You want a lot of cream right there so that you can get a good edge. Just a note. All right, so we're almost to the point where we are done working this over. The last thing we like to do is to begin edging these edges. The reason why is we want any rocks or concrete, any of the rocks that are in the corner to be pushed down into those corners. You can see them scraping off this 2x4, just preparing. So then when we go to do the steel and go to finish this off, that we're just minimizing our issues that we can run into. So I'm going to edge it. That's going to get the rocks out of the corner so that later it will be good to go. With this edging, I'm doing a 1/2 inch edge around the outside perimeter. And then where my dad is at edging, it is going to be a 3/8 edge that's between the foundation and this pad. So from the house to the pad, 3/8, the rest 1/2 inch. And you're gonna see right here that I'm gonna be knocking down that nice little line that I made while I was edging. We want this floor to be as ready as possible before we do end up finishing it. So this is just a little prep work that'll make life better later on.
What is right there, extra rock? Yeah.
All right, so we did this on a nice hot July day. It might have been a few days before July, or it could have been July 1st. It doesn't matter. So either way, we are now going to be using our mag, our steel, and our edger to finish this off. You're going to end up having to work with all three to make this work nice. So after an hour of kind of that sitting there, it did finally start taking off to the point where you can start working it over with your mag, which will bring up all of the cream. The cream. And then once you pull that up, you're going to take your steel and you're going to clean it off. You're going to make it nice and flat. You're going to look around. You're going to look for any holes. You're just going to keep working it back and forth with your steel. And then if you can't fill in those holes with your steel after you already magged it, you're going to mag it again. And you're going to mag it and so that it can bring that cream up, and then you're going to be able to use that steel again. You're just going to keep working that back and forth. And then as you do that, you're going to end up using your edger to get your edges cleaned up too. You're going to have to do it kind of all at the same time, and you'll be able to get this done. It takes practice, but you're going to be able to learn it. It's going to work really good. The longer and the more that you get used to this concrete and pulling up the cream, making it nice and flat with your steel. But you'll just get better and better at it. So either way, you want to make sure you're not digging any holes. You don't want to wait too long. Really, you just kind of wait to the point where you can push down on that concrete with your fingers. That's when you're going to want to start this process with the steel. But either way, if you start being able to push down on it and your fingers don't just sink into it, then you're probably ready to get started with it. So yeah, good luck. Hope it looks nice. If you wait too long, you're going to be working your nuts off at this point. We didn't on our last pour, we did, and it just sucks. So yeah, there you go. Real fast, I don't want to forget about this. If you need to steel some concrete for your edge, like your edge looks like crap, you can take your edger, and you probably saw me do it somewhere in this video. I just rub it against the edge of that edger, and then I just squish that right in onto the edge. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, leave a comment. Maybe I'll need to make a video on that. Okay, so we're getting our broom ready. We usually either use a wheelbarrow or a bucket. Today we're going to be using the skid steer bucket. I'm going to hurry and clean it out, get any of the dirt out, and I'm going to fill this up so that we can broom. Anything that's exterior that you know that could ever get water on it, or get really water or snow, anything that somebody could slip on, you're going to end up wanting to broom it. When you're brooming it, the best thing, or the best practice, if you have time, take all your screws or your nails out of your stakes. By the time you're brooming it, these can come out. We're going to pull these stakes out. Now, you don't want to beat on them. You got to get something like this. Man, what the heck is this? Oh yeah, a pipe wrench. Grab a pipe wrench, pull them out, and you will have much greater success of getting your stakes out. Don't beat on it with something. You're going to end up cracking your concrete. It's going to look like crap. So, Dad, he's going to end up brooming each of these. He's going to get his broom wet. He's going to wash it every single time. You're not going to go over anything more than, 2 passes, 1 pass on, 1 pass off, and then you go to the next spot. When you do get your broom wet, you want to take it, shake it off. You don't want to have too much water. So, either way, when it's at this point, it's usually ready to broom as soon as you finish it off. So, good luck with that. You're going to have to gauge on that to decide if it's ready or not. So, either way, there's our pour. It's ready to go. This house is now ready for us to put our post bases on. And now we're back to our Sonotube series of the house that we're actually doing. This house is ready for our post bases as well. That'll be our next video that we do here. Do these videos for my children, for them, so that if they ever want to build like their grandpa, they can. Thanks for checking us out. Like, subscribe. If you got any questions, comment, and thanks.